Alright, man, I'm back. It's been a minute since I've been on my own YouTube channel, and I kind of miss it. Uh, I'm going into my senior year over at USC, and I think it's about time I brought my videos back because I want to document a good majority of my senior year, just so I got things to look back on. Because all while I've been in college, it's been moving, and senior year is like this might be the one year that I'm actually on campus full time, and yeah, so let's jump straight into it. Topic of conversation that I wanted to have today is the importance of understanding when you have lapped. And at first I was using the analogy of lapping yourself, but even just thinking about being in a race, if you're on a track and you start running at the same time as somebody else, and just you say somebody else is whatever you want. It don't have to be somebody else. Anyways, you're running against somebody else. At some point, you may be running so fast and getting so far ahead in life that you lap that person, right? And usually, when you lap the person, you'll be coming down the stretch and you'll see all of a sudden that they are in front of you, right? It's easy to trick yourself up and get caught into the mix of, wow, everybody is ahead of me, when in reality you way ahead of the game. And that's kind of the importance of running your own race, and that's something that I have been learning more recently and really taking into account. One thing I noticed about the self-help route, or reading, getting back into old habits such as doing push-ups every night, having a routine, listening to motivational videos, or watching things with substance, not just doom scrolling, or paying attention to what it is you're watching and consuming, is that you go through this breakdown phase where everything that you have grown to know in terms of familiarizing yourself with yourself is starting to go right up out the window. And when those things seem to be leaving you, you start to feel as if you are losing yourself. But you're not losing yourself. You're just molding yourself into who it is you are supposed to be becoming. The last couple of days I fought a lot with the idea of having a purpose or doing something, or being busy with my hands, because I've been at the crib bored. But being bored is a blessing, and that's another video I could probably make. But I just been at the house like, oh, what am I doing? Am I doing anything furthering myself? I don't have any jobs lined up yet, so I don't know where I'm going. And I'm stressing myself out about things that haven't even come up yet or pose themselves to be a problem. I used to deal with anxiety a lot, but now that I don't have anxiety, a lot of the anxiety that I do feel comes from just overthinking about not having anxiety. And I've been taking this more or less calm approach to life, to where I'm not really worried about much, but at times I slip up and I start to worry about things because I'm not worried about them. And what I'm learning in that area of my life is to understand the act of faith, or believing in something. And this is not just a religious aspect to where it's, oh, I need to have faith in God or believe in God, but you gotta have faith in something. And the most neutral term I like to use is the universe, because everybody looks to something different, to a different book, dialect, religion, or whatever it may be. I think the best neutral spot for me is just calling it the universe. And one thing I am taking into account more of is that I just need to trust in the universe, or God, or however I may put it. But I need to trust in the universe and have faith in it. I'm going to end up in all the places that I need to be in. I'm going to be everywhere that I need to be, and I'm going to get there on time. Now, I may not get there, punctually, uh, but I'll get there at the time that I am needed. And as long as you believe in yourself in terms of knowing that you are going to show up at the right time, you really can't go wrong in life. And the thing that has been troubling me the most lately is probably the idea that I'm too calm and I'm not worried enough. But I've been reading this book. I think you can see it. Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. And this has really brought me back to the idea of conscious thought. And it's this really fine line when it comes to conscious thought. Because if you step over that line, you start to overthink yourself into more problems. If you are behind the line, you may end up complacent and thinking, oh, everything is supposed to come to me, so I'm not going to do anything at all. And the line that is drawn is that you must put in enough conscious effort to the point that you are actively doing what it is that you are supposed to be doing. Chasing whatever goals that you may have, or finishing whatever assignments, whatever it may be. You gotta have enough conscious thought for that. But you don't want so much conscious thought that you think yourself out of doing things. And then you don't want to have the lack of conscious thought to where it is you aren't doing anything at all. Life rewards effort. And what we are taught growing up is that effort is strenuous, it's stressful, it's putting wear and tear on your body. No pain, no gain. This isn't necessarily true though. Effort is the act of doing. And when I say the act of doing, I mean doing with intent. Having some type of purpose or intention behind your actions is effort. And when you put that effort in, life starts to reward you with things back. That's where the saying, you reap what you sow, comes from. And that's just been something that has been a bit more harder to grasp, given all the challenges that life can pose. And another thing that I'm realizing is that, my dad said this earlier today, and he said that life is gonna life. And it is though. It's okay for things to go bad. It's okay for things to go good. But the thing that matters the most is the sheer acknowledgement of such. When things go bad, it's okay to say, you know what? Things just took a turn right now. They just went bad. I got dealt a bad hand, I still had to play it, and that's okay. The acceptance of it is what moves you through it. And when good things happen, you also have to count your wins. Don't get so caught up on the losses that you forget to count your wins. Because you can win 10 times in a row, but that one loss can seem so devastating, and you push off every other dub that you just had. Don't rob yourself of the satisfaction of winning, because it is okay to win. And it took me a really long time to figure that out, because I was so used to winning. I guess, is that what you call a sore winner? I don't really know, but I was such a sore winner that I was so used to winning that when I lost, that shit hurt. It felt like it was the most devastating thing on earth. And then I would dwindle. No, I would dwell on the loss so much that it multiplies itself and multiplies itself, and you just go on a losing streak. But the best way to come to terms with this for myself is thinking about basketball. And when you playing basketball, you get these runs, not the shitty runs, but you go on a run in basketball. So if you ever watching, you might see that, a team may go on a 26-3 run. They just scored 26 points to the 3 points to the other team, right? Later in that game, the other team may go on a 15-0 run, and that's what bring them back to win the game. You gotta understand that life is gonna go on its runs, but you also gonna go on your runs. So you gonna go on your dub runs where you winning. Life may hit you with a couple L's, but you still in the lead. And sometimes life may be beating you up, and you gotta come back. But don't see it as, oh man, if I don't come back, this is the end of the world. It's okay, because life is full of games for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, we only get one of these, you only get one life, and you're not making it out alive. So, technically, we're born to lose the game. But the loss of life, in a sense, most likely, in my head, isn't bad though. Like, yeah, you leave life, but we only see it as a negative connotation because we don't know what's next. But if you pass away and paradise is next, would you still consider it as something bad? So, understanding that the game is going to end either way, whether you win or lose afterwards, the game is going to end. All you got to do is keep scoring. And when the other team's scoring, don't get mad that they scoring. They just playing the game. And that other team, in this sense, I guess is life. I'm not really sure what to compare it against. But, yeah, that's that. Anything else that I want to talk about? Not really. Just believing in myself is something that I'm becoming more comfortable with doing. Alright? These videos are active manifestation of the life lessons that I'm learning. So me putting the words out there in itself is only reaffirming what it is that I'm having trouble accepting within myself. But it is up to me to understand what I am capable of. And a big portion of that insecurity, I guess, that I've been feeling is the lack of solidified choice. Now, I'm great at making choices. I make choices all the time. I make decisions. Yeah. But I do find myself in these, awkward pockets where I'm asking for validation on a decision, and I won't make the decision unless I get that validation. I no longer want to do that. And I'm not saying I can't get consideration or recommendations from other people, but when you walk through life like that, you find yourself in a position to where you are getting your hand held through life, and no decision that you ever make is truly yours. So the comfort in that is that you can't necessarily blame yourself if things go wrong because you asked somebody else whether or not you should do it. You know what I'm saying? So at times I was running away from responsibility because when things didn't go right, I'll say, oh, that wasn't on me, I asked somebody else what to do. As a man, I don't want to do that no more. Because when I get older, my kids are going to look at me and say, hey, we need the answer to this question, and we need it from you. And I can't just go around asking everybody else for the answer to the questions. I have to be able to make a decision right then and there on what to tell them, how to tell them, what to say, and what to do next. And I think Kanye put this analogy the best. When did you feel the most anxiety when you were at school? And I think the people answer when they was taking the quiz, right? When you live life as if you are taking a quiz, you find yourself in a position in a state of anxiety. In a state of anxiety. And the reason you feel this way is because you feel as though if you pick the wrong answer, it's done for. But it's not. Unless, you commit a crime. You pretty much would be fine. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're not held to the confines of a jail cell, a funeral casket, or owing money to the mafia or anything like that, you'll be fine with the decisions that you make. just understand that every decision comes with consequences, and once you accept that truth in itself, there's really nothing else left on the table to even be scared of. So I'm getting more excited to um, make more of my own decisions and maybe ask for feedback on the back end, but I can't sit my whole life waiting to get an answer from somebody else because they got their own issues to deal with and they got their own decisions in their life. And then it's a shot at yourself. You saying, damn, I gotta ask 50 other people what they think before I just take into consideration what I think. At what point do that make sense? And at what point do you govern any self-trust within yourself? You don't. And so, with all that being said, I'm starting to make more decisions on my own. And just going for it. You don't really need permission from anybody to do anything. All you need is the only permission you need is from yourself. And even in that, don't wait for permission from yourself. Because it's layers to who we are as individuals. And if we waiting on answers from the certain layers of ourselves, we may find ourselves in a position of never making a decision. So sometimes when it feels impulsive, I'm not saying do nothing crazy. I'm not saying go out there, hurt nobody, hurt yourself, or do anything. But some decisions may seem impulsive. Just approach them with a level of play. And you go, all right, I'm going to make this decision and see where it goes. Right? Just get into the flow state of life. And when I'm saying the flow state of life, I'm saying anytime you play a sport, you got to have a counter move. And you can only make a counter move if the opponent attacks you, or if you attack the opponent, they block, and you got to come up with something else. So say I do, and we talking basketball still, continuity. If I go between the legs and the defender, if I go between the legs to my left and the defender shifts to his right, my left, if I keep going left or keeping the ball right there, what he gonna do? He gonna take it. So you gotta be ready to pivot. You made your decision to go to him. Okay, that was one decision. You seen how they reacted. Boom. You going back. Now you on the other side. And they over there. That counter action was just another decision that you made. Now you can go to the hoop, do whatever you want. Lay it up, yam it, you know what I'm saying, reverse on them. Shit, dribble, pull up. It's a lot of other things that you can do after that. But just make play of it. And continue to put yourself out there. In any way, shape, or form. Your medium may not be social media. It may be just public speaking and getting to know people in person. Never be afraid to develop your network or continue to get to know more people, because the more that you expand, the greater surface area you can cover. And I know that sounds it sounds apparent, but really think about when you get into an echo chamber of life. And I really need y'all to remember, I'm talking to myself. But really think about when you get into an echo chamber of life. And everywhere you go, everybody is saying the same thing. And what's coming to mind right now in terms of things to talk about is what is it called? Is that Plato's cave? Whose cave was it? It was a cave. The cave analogy to where the one dude, the civilization, they grew up in these chains and they see life through shadows on the wall. And one day somebody broke out of the chains, went outside and seen that, hey, there's more to life outside. Came back, tried to tell everybody, and they was like, whoa, I don't believe you, dude. Like, this is life right here. Like, you tripping. Damn, what did I say all that to say? Anyways. Dang, what did I say all that to say? I forgot. But the cave analogy is... Dang, I forgot. It's okay. Like, things are going to change. When you get to that echo chamber of life and you're around the same things all the time, sometimes you just got to break out the shackles, go and see what's outside of the cave. And once you see what's outside of the cave, you're going to fall in love with so much more. And it's not necessarily about adding more in life. Sometimes it's about, how can I put this? Honing your skills. But it's hard to get better without adversity. And so when you feel that you are at the point of life where you're comfortable with your skill, damn near go seek adversity. And the best way my dad put it was like, I'm a go-getter, right? And parents always can recognize more in you than you can recognize in yourself, or they'll see it sooner than you see it in yourself. And when he said that I was a go-getter, it really put everything into perspective. Anything that I really went after or sought after in life, I went and got it myself. I don't hate handouts. I love a handout. Oh, well, nothing free. One, ain't nothing in life free. But two, if opportunities come my way, I'm taking. You feel me? But where I come from, you gotta forge your own path if you want to go anywhere worth going. Because there's a lot of different paths already forged from where I come from. You can go join the gang, you can go to jail, you can die. You know what I'm saying? Those are 3 paths, you know what I'm saying, that's set out for people coming where I come from. And I didn't want to go that way. And so you find yourself fighting these uphill battles simply because you going for something. A lot of people, they take a little stroll and they just wait for things to come to them, which is important, and that sometimes you're gonna need to wait for things to come to you, and that's where patience comes into play. But other times, for me, I need to get at it, and I'm at it, and I go for it, and then I gotta wait for the result to show itself. It may not always show itself immediately, which I hate, but eventually the fruits of your labor will show themselves. And all you gotta do is be ready to receive. Once you put that work out, just be ready to receive. And when you're ready to receive, all you gotta do is catch the ball. Diamond, boom, catch the ball and tuck it, and keep on going. You gotta run your route. And when you run your route, life gonna throw the ball, you're gonna catch it, you're gonna score the touchdown. And then y'all go line it right back up and do it again. So, yeah. I don't really got much else to say. But I appreciate for those who listen, for listening. And I will see you guys on the next one.